Hello all, today Kilroy goes off the shelf and back onto his table to do a weekly update. I started off with Memorial Day and talking about my uncle's service cap and also talking about creating a scenario that dealt with or would try to simulate the action in which he lost his life in New Guinea. And so I was going to use Combat Commander for that, so check that out. I also did a Coffee with Kilroy talking about the introduction to wargaming from SPI. So this was kind of a special insert in the, I think, the Strategy and Tactics subscription. Interesting tidbits in there, so please take a look at that. Then I went into World War I and continued with my Coffee with Kilroy coverage of postcard games with Fateful Days, a Paul Rohrbal game dealing with kind of the Schlieffen Plan at the beginning of World War I. And staying on World War I, pulled out World War I, 1914 to 1918. This is a Jim Dunnigan design covering World War I. Has some very unique mechanisms in there, so and a different perspective on things, so definitely take a look at that. Then went to Naval Warfare 1862 to 1980. This is a Panzer Digest Naval War Special from Minden Games, a battle game book with 3 games. Actually, there's 4 games in there because there's a mini game on Jutland, but there's with 4 games dealing with naval warfare from Gary Graber. Definitely take a look at that. Got a surprise delivery from Lock and Load. Not exactly what I was expected, but a surprise nonetheless. They're very, very quick. And so anyway, take a look at that. That was a short. Then we did an unboxing of Atlantic Chase. This is the second printing. I missed out on the first one, but GMT was kind enough to get me this one. So I did an unboxing on that and talked about some of its unique aspects and discussed whether it was worthy of the several Charles S. Roberts Awards that it won last year. I'll let you decide that, but take a look at that. And then went to, this is heavy, Dueling Eagles, another postcard game, excuse me, from Paul Rohrbal. This is dealing with the air combat over Malta in World War II. Very simple air game, but it's got some great graphics there if you take a look at that. And then I did a brief Coffee with Kilroy, kind of a bonus one, talking a little bit about Tales of War. This is great stories from military history for every day of the year. I just picked this up. And so every day of the year, it's got a story, a military history story. And I decided for June 2nd to read that one. And that talked about Garibaldi and his death. And so I decided to talk about this game, which is kind of it's definitely a Euro game, not necessarily a war game. But it's basically a search game where you're trying to capture Garibaldi. Well, some people are trying to capture him, and if you're playing Garibaldi, you're trying to avoid capture. It's for 2 to 6 players, and it's an interesting game with kind of a hidden movement and definitely asymmetrical play. But I might read more stuff from this Tales of War. I probably won't do every day because I guess if my math's correct, there might be 365 stories in there, and that's a lot of coffee even for me. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my channel. And if you haven't yet, please do. And support Dan and all his efforts as well, and all the content providers that he covers on this on his site, No Enemies with No Enemies Here. Great show, great content, and thank you all for stopping by. Dan needs a video. Oh my God. Hey, cup of Joe. I don't got time for coffee. Thanks for watching.